everybody, I'm Jenny Harkleroad, the owner of Balance You, and I am so excited to have one of my favorite ladies in the whole universe, Lois Kofi, with me today, because so many of you guys out there are entrepreneurs, and sometimes being an entrepreneur is not that easy. Sometimes it's downright hard. And so I work with you guys on your mindset, getting your beliefs right and getting your mindset right, but you still have to know how to do it, right? You still need some technique. And so we've got different offerings for that, but there's nobody better than Lois Kofi to light a fire under you and help you achieve your goals. She knows all the secrets to being a successful entrepreneur, which is why I want to share her with you today. So I'm just going to jump right in and ask Lois to share her story. Like, were you born just knowing how to be an entrepreneur, or how did you learn this stuff?
That's awesome. Well, I have to give huge kudos to you because meeting you probably about 18 months ago was a huge part of where I got to be where I'm at today. And I will say that I think everyone is born an entrepreneur. That's just me. That's my belief. I believe we all have a gift to share. I believe we all have something that could fill a need that someone else has. I mean, if you're a Girl Scout cookie seller, if you're a pastor of your church, if you're a farmer, I'm a farmer's daughter, so I understand the value of hard work and being able to have a gift to share with the world. So I think everyone has something to sell. That's just my philosophy. And I did through my journey sell different things. Like I know you too, Jenny, have. I sold real estate and I sold fitness. I had a personal training studio for a while. And I also sold nutritional products in the network marketing industry. And the thing that I discovered was I sold at a high level primarily because I just love to serve people. To me, sales is service. It's not a swear word. I'm just going to throw that out there. It's a way to find a need and fill it. If you've studied Zig Ziglar, Jim Rohn, some people may have never heard of them, unfortunately, because they've been, gone for a while, leaving this plane of this earth. But they were all about helping people understand the value of building relationships, nurturing them, and then finding a need and filling it. Oh, by the way, you get paid for it. And oh, by the way, you get paid really, really well. You can have unlimited income in sales, but I will have to say I was old school up until about 12 months ago, last week, when the pandemic hit. And oh my gosh, Jenny, I was like not prepared mentally, physically, financially, and spiritually. I was face to face, belly to belly. I met you at a BNI meeting. I met most of my clients and referrals and prospects and suspects through face to face, belly to belly, whether it was at the bar, the beach, the bank, the church, whatever. I knew I was going to eventually win you over, Dale Carnegie, right? How to Win Friends and Influence People and sell you something. But huge but now I was like, oh my gosh, I don't have a landing page, I don't have an email list. So I went from making good money to $0 because I didn't know how to close a deal without a handshake or a business card exchange. So that's where I was 12 months ago. And through that process, I had, of course, I'd met you and had gone through this metamorphosis of understanding mindset and realizing that I have more to sell and share than these companies that I was representing and different things, but I had a voice that deserved to be seen, be heard, and be paid. But then how do you monetize that when you don't have a digital product? You don't have an email list, you don't have a landing page. So I was kind of like, oh my gosh, what do I do? And I was terrified, to be honest. And my brother died, my mom died. I had all of this stuff, navigating, and Jenny helped me keep moving the needle forward of my passion and my purpose, right? You all that are watching this have a purpose. You're here, you're still breathing, you're above ground, 6 feet, and there's a reason that you're here. So finding that purpose and that passion last year was part of what propelled me forward into sharing what I learned was lead generation and sales mastery in the new normal. I went from 0 people on my email list and not having one because I was pretty judgmental. I had this mindset that was like, oh my gosh, where's the
You're not
crucifix?
allowed on my list.
Right. Right. And so now I have a list of 5,000 people. I'm monetizing it. I have multiple 5 figures of income and digital products and courses and monetization and believing in my value and found joy, which is what you helped, light a fire within me and my mindset to help me overcome a lot of those goals, right? Because that was a huge of it. But now it's manifested a lot of great things.
I love that. So 0 to hero, you talk about, right? So you were making money, the pandemic hit. It was like, oh, we need to shift into a new way to make money. You went online, tried to figure it out, and did figure it out, and are succeeding hugely at it. I think when you said multiple 5 figures, maybe you forgot to say per month, not per year, right?
Right. Good point.
Yeah. And so you're really good at helping people lead generate and lead convert, right? Because who cares if you just have 5,000 on your list? They need to turn into some dollars, right? You want to serve them in such a way that they're getting value and you're getting paid for it. And you've really become a master of that. I watched that over the year. And also, you have a podcast that's monetizing, you have affiliate partnerships. Like I think you said you have like 100 affiliates, you've got an affiliate manager. I mean, you've created a huge success really overnight, like during the pandemic. So kudos to you. I love what you've done. And I love that you offer it to people in whatever way they can digest it, which is your Facebook group or a smaller group setting or privately, or you have lots of options for people. So if somebody is already an entrepreneur, or if somebody is just getting started on the journey, the thing we all need is leads, right? We all need people on our list. We all need to attract clients. So can you talk a little bit about what you do to attract clients that you can teach people how to do? For example, in your upcoming 5-day challenge, what's your secret sauce that you're going to be teaching them?
That's awesome. And it's very near and dear to my heart because, I was afraid to speak my truth. I was afraid to reach out to people in this new world because it was totally like learning French. My husband speaks French, so I know what that's like. Very difficult and very foreign to the brain, right? To the conscious mind. And so for me, I had to fail forward. I will totally transparently, those first 3 months, I struggled. I maybe made $2,000 between March through June of last year. This is talking about 2020.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, what am I doing wrong? And at the same time, if you remember, I shared with you, my brother died, my mom got sick, went into hospice and died really, really fast. And so during that time, and because of the pandemic, I truly do believe it was because of the pandemic and just ignorance, whatever you want to call it. I had people messaging me stuff like, buy my thing, join my team. I had a guy, I still remember him, and he was like, his sales opportunity on me and just messaging me just after my brother died. And I was like in pain, grieving, and this was on Facebook Messenger. And I was just like, I don't ever want to do that to someone ever again. Because I knew I had probably done it. We've all been there. And I remember that experience and blocking him on Facebook and recognizing he didn't even ask me, how are you?
Yeah.
He didn't even ask me what's going on. It was agenda, agenda, agenda.
Yeah.
Right? All about him. What's in it for me? For him.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I don't think that works so well. And so through that pain, that experience, right? We all learn best through experience. I decided I need to find a different way. And I just started messaging people like, how are you? So it was through my own pain and grief and just connecting with people like a human, like a spiritual being saying, hey, how are you?
Right.
How is business? And then the floodgates started to open up.
Mm,
And I'm not a therapist or a psychologist, but people were telling me stuff that I was like going, whoa, like that's a lot. Like, no wonder
mhm.
you're not buying my stuff, right?
Yeah,
You got a lot going on.
right.
And so I really rediscovered something that Seth Godin talked about in 1999 when he wrote the book Permission Based Marketing. And then
Mm,
he wrote on to write the book Tribes. I was like, I want to build my own tribe of permission based people who are pre qualified leads through that process, who will have a higher conversion through that process. And that's when I, created my podcast, Healthy and Wealthy and Wise, and started dripping on people, nurturing people,
yeah.
speaking my truth, attracting people who wanted to be there, right? They wanted to
Yep.
be there. It
Yep.
wasn't just a spammy email list. It wasn't, whatever. I didn't have to, hold anybody hostage or handcuff them to join my email list. It was like they wanted to be a part of something great. They want to be a part of a movement,
Yeah.
right? And they wanted to be a part of something that was going somewhere. And at the same time, then obviously I'm a salesperson by nature, and so I teach sales training, and a lot of people were struggling with leads, how to get leads, but then how to convert them. So I created my own formula. And this class next week is a 5-day example, a free, even though my coach said I should be charging $500. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to give it away for free one more time because I did it in
Yeah.
February, had massive results. One of my, friends, new friends, I call them, I don't call them customers, I call them friends. He's in Pakistan. He converted 147 leads in 5 days, and
Wow.
all of them were permission based. So they want to buy his stuff. They're
Yes.
pre qualified. They're there for a reason. They want to follow him. And now he can book sales calls and convert them much faster without having to spend a lot of money on Facebook ads and Google pay-per-click and all the things. I'm not saying those are bad. I think they're great. But those folks who really don't have a budget and
Yeah.
don't know the step-by-step process of how to navigate the social selling, permission-based online new normal that led me from zero to hero, right?
Yeah.
In 9 months, but we'll call it 12 months because it was 12 months ago this month, right?
Wow.
That
Yeah.
we all experienced a shutdown. So
Right.
that's really the foundation of how this came to be organically, because I didn't know what I was doing. And I was lost, dazed, and confused as many. And now it just happened that I created a 4-step proven formula that is helping people have fun, take the fear out of selling, and increase their sales results in less time through a way that doesn't have to break the bank.
I love that. That's so powerful. When you're starting off as an entrepreneur and just building your business, it's a powerful thing to make money before you spend money and not to get yourself in a bunch of debt as you try to build a business. And so I love that you have a way that you can just spend some of your time and energy and effort with a proven system that you figured out. And to get those leads, it's what is it, 100 new leads? And how long do you say?
The goal is 5 days,
Wow.
so
Yeah.
20 leads per day. I'm a triathlete marathoner, so it's all about those daily habits, right?
Yes.
And but still moving the needle forward in a, like my friend Adil in Pakistan, he's like, he created that, right? It's just like Roger Bannister, like what
Yes.
you teach, Jenny.
Mhm.
Roger Bannister was the first human who broke the 4-minute mile, right?
Right.
Before it was like insane. You were gonna die.
Well, it's
It
impossible.
was it was
Yeah.
impossible.
Yeah.
And then Roger did it, and then boom.
Yeah. Like 1,400 people have done it now. Crazy,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So
Humanly
Adil,
impossible, not quite.
yeah, it's all the limitations of the mind. So for
Yeah.
sure, for sure. So now Adil, he just told me today, he's like, I'm going for 147 every week. I'm like, whoa, that's amazing. And so that's my hope, is to, regardless of what people do beyond that, is just to blow their minds, build new habits,
Yeah.
even though, 5 days isn't quite enough, as you and I both know, to develop habits. It is still a consciousness interrupt, we'll call it, of
Yeah.
how to develop business in a way that might be different and what is needed if you're not getting the result that you thought you wanted in this first quarter of 2021.
Yeah. And if you have 5 days of great success, hopefully you'll repeat the process, right? Do it again and do it again and do it again. Because if
That's
the water's coming from the well, keep pumping it, right?
Yeah, and it's meant to be duplicatable. It's not rocket science. It's really simple. I mean, if someone like myself can grasp it and do it, coming from a place of never doing online marketing before and really having kind of a love-hate relationship with social media. I mean, right now, Facebook and LinkedIn are my two places
Yeah.
to what I call my sandboxes to play and convert in.
Yeah.
I was like this close to saying bye bye, hasta la vista, social media. And now I'm like, okay, I'm here. I'm going to stay here. And this is where all my leads are coming from.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That's a powerful thing to track where the business is coming from, right? You go back a year and you look at where each person came from, and if 80% of it's from social media, stay there. Even if 25% of it's from social media, stay there, right? Yeah, so powerful. So you have a 5-day challenge coming up starting on Monday next week. What'd you say the date was? 29th?
March 29th. Yeah.
March 29th. Okay. And during the 5 days, give us a little snippet of what they're going to learn.
Well, first things first, I'm a big fan of proven formulas. So over the course of the 5 days, I'm going to unpack my 4-step proven formula that's going to take you basically through Monday through Thursday. And
Okay.
then Friday is just like a bonus day to reinforce it. So, Monday's mindset, Tuesday's talking about time, our biggest non-renewable asset, right? And Wednesday is the online components and my secret sauce to what helped me not only bring in qualified leads, but then how do you start to convert them? And Thursday we talk about conversion. And then Friday is a bonus kind of catch all just to make sure you got it all.
Yeah.
And if you start on Monday, you could actually I will pre-release all of the days so you can binge and
There
where
you
they
go.
like Netflix,
We
right? You
want
can
more. Yeah.
yeah, you go through it twice. If you can go through it twice, just like a deal did actually, you'll be able to create faster and more, bigger results. We'll just leave it at that. But ultimately, every day has a purpose. Every day has homework. Every day has intention
Yeah.
and helping you reprogram, right? That subconscious and bring it to the conscious awareness of, oh my gosh, yeah, I haven't been doing that. Now I get to do something different and create a different result. And then the content does disappear at the end of it. So you do need to go through it during that time. I have contests and prizes. I have over $1,000 worth of giveaways. If you do the homework, you play the game. I have a Facebook group that you could be a part of, all of the things. It's all, if you sign up at the link Jenny's going to provide, then you'll get all the information on the exact how-tos, but it's really meant to guide you. I was a college professor, so I'm all about step-by-step instructions and getting you, the result and having you pass with an A+ at the end.
I love that. And you just happen to slide in there. Oh, by the way, I was a college professor. You forgot to mention that with farmer and realtor and marketer and personal trainer. You've done so many things. I love all that experience. I'm sure has helped you learn all these different things you do to help people create success. Now, I know you're a huge fan of the 12-week year and a trainer of the 12-week year. Do you want to talk about that a little bit? Because I'm sure you're going to touch on it during your 5-day challenge. Do you want to share a little bit more about that?
For sure. Yeah, it's a lot to unpack. But if you haven't, Google the 12-week year. Because of my background, granted, keep in mind, I was a marathoner, triathlete, and I've coached thousands of people in training programs, both in, personal training protocols and nutrition type stuff, but then also marathon training and yes, even Ironman triathlon training, which
Wow,
is
wow.
crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. But the funny thing was, Jenny, like I studied it, and before I found the 12-week year, the book about 6 years ago, I was like, yeah, most of us, we can only focus on so many things
Mhm.
in a 12 to 16 week period. I mean, and I think that's why the whole Q1, Q2, most companies,
Yeah.
even corporations, will
Right.
set goals based on these things called quarters.
Yep.
And yet we have this society that has been, for better, lack of a better term, brainwashed to think of annualized New Year's resolutions goals, which you and I both
Yeah.
know are kind of crap, really, at the end of the day. It's too long, so if you hyper focus, get the binoculars on when you're looking up at the stars, right? You're wanting to hyper focus and get a better experience. So when you're training for a marathon, an Ironman, most of the plans are, guess what, 12 to 16 weeks, right? Because you can only really focus on and set goals around this certain period of time before you start burning out,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And the cool thing is when you're clear on your vision, you're clear on the end goal, 12 to 16 weeks is perfect, because then you're clear on what you don't want to do. You can say, oh, nope,
Yeah.
that doesn't fit it. Nope, get out of my way. You're not serving me. And through that process, you're better at time blocking, which there's no such thing as time management. Part of what I teach, and getting the certification for the 12-week year just reinforces that for people. If you read the book, New York Times bestseller, Brian P. Moran, Michael Lennington, they're a couple of mentors of mine who get and have helped corporations make multi millions, maybe billions of dollars of results that prove that at the highest level and the, even my level, I'm just going to say that I was able to hyper focus. I launched my podcast in 12 weeks, right?
Mhm.
I launched my next curriculum in 12 weeks. I was able to hyper focus on this period of time
Yeah.
and get rid of the things and the people that didn't serve me,
Yep.
and be able to time block accordingly, because there's no such thing as time management. Jenny could talk to you about that, but it's really about your choices
Right.
and being clear on what is important to you right now for this next certain period of time. And
Right.
so that's why I gamified the 5-day challenge to 100 leads. But imagine if you could have 12 weeks where you gamified that, that's 1,200 leads. And
Yeah.
if you even closed 20% of
Right.
that, that's 240 leads. What's your average price point?
Yep.
Even if it was $100, I mean, you do the math,
Yep.
$24,000, right?
Right.
Worth of income.
Yep.
We overcomplicate things. We try to do, I think, in my experience, too much. And we try to serve too many masters and be a quote unquote jack of all trades. And so my thing is about 12-week year, simplify, focus, and have purpose in your direction, and you can win a marathon. You can finish a triathlon, right? And with the
Yep.
same mindset, is just that I'm going to keep myself focused on these most important, I call them income producing activities, or lead generating, lead conversion activities. And so if someone's really struggling with, gosh, my income is down, well, it's probably because you were just focusing on too many things.
Yeah, I love that. Keep it simple, right? So you need more leads and you need to convert them, period. Like, let's make some money, right? And then you can invest in a better brand logo or, all the other things you want to do. But, starting off, that I've been teaching people how to do what I do. And so a lot of people come to my training thinking they're going to just learn it to help themselves. And then they see the power of it and they think, oh, I want to help other people with this, but I've never had a business. Like, where do I even start? And you have the
Mm.
answer, which is you need to get leads. You need to find people who want what you have, and then you need to convert them into paying customers. So I'm really excited to share what you do with people that I've been working with to help them grow their businesses. And anyone who has a business would probably be lying if they said they didn't want more leads, right? They couldn't use more leads. They couldn't convert more leads because then you hire help, right? And you keep the business growing. So,
Mm.
so powerful what you do. All right, so I'm going to be posting a link so you can all register for free for Lois's 5-day challenge. So you can become a rock star like Lois. You can learn the secrets of getting new leads and converting them and growing and enjoying your business so that you can live your purpose, right? You can have what you want to have and do what you want to do. And I know that Lois talks about in her mindset piece about your why and how that's so important to know. Like, you don't have motivation if you're just doing stuff for money. You got to figure out something bigger than that. Your why. Why do you do what you do? Why do you want to do what you do? And how do you have something you want to share about that, Lois?
Oh my gosh. Do we have another hour?
No, we don't. 7 minutes.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I think this is just what I've seen, but also what I've personally experienced. We and I know Jenny talks about your subconscious mind and everything is pretty much pre-programmed by the time you're 10, right? And so a lot of times we see things that we think we want, but it was really our mom or our dad or our brother. And so not trying to start crying on you or anything, but when my brother and my mother died last year, I recognized, oh my gosh, I was sort of living their pain and I was living their life and their choices. And so I went on autopilot. I did these things that I thought were for me, but they weren't.
Mm,
And so by speaking that and sharing that, I'm finding more and more people are living someone else's life and not their own.
wow.
And so by understanding that at the depths and the core of my being and being like, oh, maybe I need to really self-discover what is it that I want, not necessarily for the first time in my life, but to really resonate and connect with that at the heart and the head level. We have three brains, right, Jenny? The head, the heart, and the gut brains. And so I really finally was able to connect with that and start living my own truth and speaking my own truth and not being afraid to share that because maybe someone else might judge me accordingly, right? And so it's a lot of layers, a lot of depth there. But by being able to help other people understand that, I feel like there's so many people out there with a story and a message, and so many people are looking for inspiration and hope and encouragement, and especially in these times. And by being able to share that with other people you don't know, by shining your light, what might inspire other people to do the same. And so that's really what I learned last year, through that process, and hoping that I can help other people do more of the same. And I think that's really on maybe a bigger level why the pandemic happened. Not getting political, I do believe it was a wake up call for a lot of us who maybe were on autopilot and not really truly living in our bliss and our true purpose and passion. That's what I know Jenny cares a lot about and helps a lot of people do as well.
Yeah, I love that. So powerful what you shared. Thank you so much. So, just a little side note, do you want to say anything about your podcast? Because I know, oh my gosh, you've had so many episodes, I've lost track. You're probably at like 125. Where are you at? Do you even remember?
Yeah, I'm just pumping them out. I think it's 125. That's probably actually pretty
Oh,
accurate.
yeah. I'm
Yep.
tracking you. Awesome. Awesome. So there's so many great things you share on that podcast that are also helpful for new business owners. So, if you're new to listening to podcasts, what's the easiest way to find you?
Well, and you also, Jenny, have a link for that, but ultimately it's right up here, healthyandwealthyandwise.com. Go and check us out. You can look me up on iTunes. That's probably the easiest way. I also have a Facebook community, which is super fun. Jenny and all the cool kids are there. So if you're able to find us, just go healthy and the letter N Wealthy, the letter N, Wise. You'll find us on Facebook. There's not too many of those similar names on Facebook, but join in the community. I live stream. Jenny's been there twice. In fact, I don't know when you're going to share this, but on Friday, I have one of Jenny's amazing team members, Connie, and practitioners that's going to be my next guest. And so all about bringing you health experts, wealth experts, wisdom experts. Last week, hopefully this isn't too taboo, I talked about sex and money with a sexual empowerment coach. So you never know what you're going to get with me. It's just
Love
real
it.
talk and
Yep.
fun and mind bending, mind opening, life altering stuff for you to ultimately live your best life. Awesome.
Healthy and wealthy and wise. Yes,
Correct.
I love it. So thanks for being here, Lois. You definitely are an inspiration. I love what entrepreneurs can learn from you. And if they just listen and keep it simple and do the steps you're telling them, they're going to find new leads. They're going to convert those leads. They're going to have more business ultimately so they can live their best life, have their dreams as well, and help those people who they're looking to serve. So what an awesome thing you do.
Thank
Yeah,
you. Appreciate the
absolutely.
opportunity.
Yeah. Any parting words?
My favorite quote that
Yeah.
I have to give, Jim Rohn is one of my favorites. He was a farmer's son from Idaho. I'm a farmer's daughter from Iowa. So sometimes
Pretty
Idaho,
close. Almost the
Iowa,
same.
we both grow potatoes. Just
Right.
Idaho is known more for its vodka, Iowa not so much. But at any rate, discipline your disappointments and never
Mhm.
give up. Discipline your disappointments and never give up. Even with what Jenny teaches and what I teach, it's not a quick fix. We don't believe in quick fixes, do we, Jenny?
We
Right?
don't. It takes a little time, just like when you go to the gym. You have to go back, darn it.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah.
true. It's true.
Yeah. So progress over perfection, but simply disciplining your disappointments and staying true to your vision and your purpose, knowing that there is a reason for it, bigger and deeper
Yeah,
than we even maybe understand at the time, but keep going towards that. There's going to be disappointments along the way, but just stay true to yourself and your purpose, and everything will come together for you.
I love it. Thanks, Lois. You've been an amazing guest. I'm so happy to be your friend. And thanks for being here today.
Likewise, thank you.